Yeah. TK, Terrence Key. Yeah. Yeah, Terrence Key. I get the lemon pepper every fucking time I go to the fucking. Okay, nigga, I get the lemon pepper. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to make sure the fam straight, nigga, fuck the fame. Time for $1, tapping my watch like the nigga Dane. Trying to ball, come with L's, it's part of the game. Built different, those is lessons, you niggas is lame. Having issues I never had, feelings I never felt. A nigga playing Uno, not feeling the cards that I was dealt. Gotta check the tip on my temper, so hot I might melt. Nowadays, circles smaller than little ones that are on your belt. Nigga, since mom's died, nothing really been the same. Sometimes I can still hear her calling my name. Trying to find better ways to deal with this pain. Instead of riding around with a stick, trying to shift the blame. Suicidal thoughts lately and I'm not proud. Feeling like I'm running from a dark cloud. But I still shine bright in a large crowd. Always been a quiet nigga that be smoking loud. Running laps on a beat, I still got stamina. Not the type of artist to act a fool for the camera. Clearly that's what they want though, without a doubt. I'ma keep chasing my dreams while they chasing clout. Niggas deep like Wu-Tang yelling gang, think they big step. Alone shit go down there like Fred Hammond with no weapon. OG said you ain't a man if you need a man. That's why I really stunt by myself like I'm Jackie Chan, nigga. To get you under my pressure. I've been trying to get you under my pressure. Look. Big brother died a couple weeks after they let him free. While he was down, he always picked up the cell to check on me. Love my mother so much, he literally went to bat. Now they both gone and somehow I gotta deal with that. No baseball cap. Shit. I do it first and watch them copy like a yarn. Schooling you little niggas like LeBron. All my foster dads was bishops like Magic Don Wine. So I hope we talking green, nigga, when I arrive. From a place where you OG at 25 cause you alive. A place where wheels fall off and you still drive. A place where you strive and you still might take a dive. And that's fucked up. Damn, guess girl my dot was looking down. I guess I lucked up. Gotta say rest in peace, Lil E. My nigga knew what it was. Forever FLB, that's on me. Only thing that motivate me is my daughter. Trying to make her proud like Reginae Carter. Yeah, we gotta take care of these babies. Out of sight, not of mind. Man, you niggas is crazy. Man, you niggas is lazy, that's facts. I be with my daughter, nigga, every day, facts. Ask around TK, he don't play facts. All about my chips, no Frito-Lay facts. Nigga. Freestyle. Lemon pepper. Yeah, TK. There's good. Yeah. Real shit. Keep like sweat. Look, man, I swear to God, my nigga Roos really made this in the whip. Off the hip, there's some pussy call him, so he had to dip. We some pimps, nah, we some players from the Himalayas. I don't trust you, bitch, I sleep with one eye open like a raider. What's next? You been on my line. Face I never text, but that's sex. Then that shit the best. Take away the stress. Left your ex, now you breaking necks. Out here chasing checks. I respect Serena body, your pics be serving on the net. Like, damn, girl, I just want you to know you really bad as fuck. Oh God, I see it glow. You know a nigga love it when you shake it to the flow. So is we on the high, we gon' keep it on the low. Let me know. Mama's in the kitchen with the sauce. Yeah. Shout out my nigga Roos, man. Yeah, man. Keep Flight Sweat. TK. Look, what the fuck you mean, bitch? I be going in. I'm going off this hen. Rest in peace, my brother hen. I yell his name to the end. That was my blood, was not a friend. He'll probably tell me, bruh, talk your shit again. So here I go, nigga. Oh, Ray Charles shades can't see you. Yeah. Give your bitch the chills when I breeze through. Yeah. Most you niggas fake like see-through. Talking to the cops so much you probably bleed blue. You telling on people, fool, I can't fool with you. Nah, you be making it hot, I can't be cool with you. And your baby mama want me up her skirt. But we don't fuck with wet pussy, drop purse, that's first. So like a jet plane, high skirt. If it's about some money, I'm gonna try to make it work. If it's gonna get me paid, then I cannot be afraid. Fly as dark skinned nigga since Blade. Swagger cut you, nigga. Come through like fuck you, nigga. I come alive in the nighttime. My life is like a movie, a premiere on Lifetime. If it ain't wrong, it's at the right time. Slide like a motherfucker. With my brother, professional sucker duckers. Hey, always on to something, you ain't on nothing. My niggas got my back, so I'm never frontin'. Hey.
Mama's in the kitchen with the sauce.
Living at the speed of light, it's hard to follow. Yeah. I could be dead by tomorrow.
Recipes, my big brother in.
Trying to face
it.
So why got time to wait? Get out, I've been down and out for too long.
Niggas long and I'm too strong. Yeah.
Living at the speed of light, it's hard to follow. I could be dead by tomorrow.
Terrence P. Shout out my nigga Roots. Keith White Sweat. That Mark was heading. Look, I'm living at the speed of life cause I'm just trying to make it. Shit is too real, nigga, I can't even fake it. Early morning moving too fast, but ain't got no time to break it. Cause I had to defend my life last night, a nigga try to take it. And I'm just trying to face it. Time ain't waiting, so I don't waste it. Gotta go get it, niggas tired of being patient. We come from the basement, elevation, blood, sweat, and tears on pavement. Now when we step out, it's a celebration. Fuck you mean, they did me dirty, so I'm coming clean. But I'm fresh, so I'm in her mouth, just like it's the ring. My brother got 2Ks, just like Krispy Kreme. Masked up at your door, but it ain't Halloween. But we still make them scream, do anything for the cream. Because we know that it rules. Niggas with the class with guns every day, but never shot up no schools. We just trying to bang blood, but I got us swimming in pools. I guess this is what happens when no one follows the rules.
I've been down and out for too long.
Look. Been a minute since Terrence got the fin. You a snitch, dog. We see your name on document. We on the go, you throwing shade like a great tent. And every time I shoot you straight, you get all bent. Out of shape, gotta skate, your body exercise. I need that shit organic. You be bringing the pesticides. You write a fiction book with your excessive lies. Me and in my bag like extra fries. I come from the bottom, she love my depth, mob, sweatsuits, and how a nigga rock them. Loving hip hop, how bitches jock me. Just touched down in Atlanta. A nigga feel like Julio, but he was raised around wolves on Rubio. Still be on these hooks like Rufio. It's murder in the studio. Coming up, we ain't have Fruit Loops. We had Fruitios, nigga. You probably grew up spoiled brat, silver spoon. I remember walking in the back and seeing my dad light a spoon. Stop playing. Somebody tell me where these new niggas come from. I don't love them, don't trust them. Should we might as well rush them? If I give my little nigga something, he probably gon' bust him. But I don't want the crackers to come and cuff him. See, these days, if you white, you can murder a nigga on TV and still get off. It's the same, but it's different like a spin-off. Cause when we do it, we just animals killing our own kind. When they do it, mental health, something is wrong with their mind, goddamn. See, that's the type of shit that sound crazy to me. They play dumb, but it's simple like 1, 2, 3. A B and one, an F, and I'm a letter A, B, C. Keep it 100, genuine. I'm the same old G. Yeah. Been down and out for too long. Nigga, I'm too strong. I'm gonna move on.
Swagger on diamonds just Sakasha trying to pick my brain and judge me like a book. I don't got many likes, but I got a lot of looks. My picture on the news, they trying to label me a crook. They say I do too much, I say I'm off the hook. They ask me where I've been, I say I just came from the hood. Smelling loud off this good, the whole day out in Jug. These niggas wanna go to war, man, I wish they would. Oakland like Baghdad in my neck of the woods.
Rest in peace, my nigga Lil E, man. R.I.P. my big brother here. Shout out my nigga J Martin, just let him on. Speed of life.
I love you, Daddy, and I love you, Uncle. And I like your songs. And I really love you singing in a song. Love you. Speed of life. Follow. I could be there.
I talk that shit to my hood, how we done lost it all. Had some good and bad times, never thought we would fall. It's like we even up the score, then we missed the ball. Hey, what's up, UV? Hey,
Actually, I was listening to your song all day.
you was?
Yep.
What's up, baby? See the camera? What you do today in school? What you do? In the streets and they what you do? I know you just did a race to my dreams down a long haul. Obstacles in my way, I start to duck and crawl. Gotta get it by any means, just a casting call. Free the gang that's behind the walls. Say it twice, let you know that I mean it, dog. Come from where I'm from, now you the underdog. Trying to control your life, just like an analog. Life is blurred times, moving like you in the fog. Only the real. When we was young boys, R.I.P. Rome, man. But when we was younger, I mean, this is the block where he got killed on. You feel me? A small little altercation turned into something big. I mean, he wound up getting shot.
Story was so crazy. He's the first nigga I had on twice. I'm like, man, we gotta get some stories out, man.
Yeah.
I said,
At the roost, he let the beats build, bitch, and we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it G. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
What's going on, man? We live from the boxing section, man. What's going on with everybody today? Listen, y'all know what's going on out here in these streets. We off to the conference championship, man. You know what I'm saying? Want to go to the Super Bowl. I'm super excited about that. Shout out to my dogs in the chat. This nigga ain't real. Tell the bell what's up with it, man. G Brown. Big Nasty back in the crib. You know what I mean? Rob G, what's up with it, man? Yeah. We here, man. We here. We gonna build. I'm not gonna be with y'all niggas long tonight, bro, at all. Cause I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. It's gonna be a short night for me. This week I got some crazy fucking hours I gotta do. PJ's Big Dog, what's up with it, man? Salute to my brother. Yeah, I got some crazy hours I gotta do this week, man. So this tonight ain't gonna be long, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I gotta at least try to get to sleep by like 11:30 every night this week. But y'all know how it go, man. The homies gonna come on, they gonna talk, they gonna do what they do. So yeah. But I felt like that fight with Gary Russell, I felt like that was a robbery, man. I felt he outclassed that dude with one fucking arm. The dude was missing hella fucking shots. He couldn't hit the nigga for nothing. You know what I mean? Right side. What's up with it, man? Salute to my brother. Yeah, man. He couldn't even hit the guy. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand how they could just because the nigga just aggressive and he's more active. I mean, that don't mean shit. You still gotta hit your target. You know what I mean? He was just coming forward, getting punched in the mouth. He got hit in the mouth like 4 times. He just kept running it, bang, running it, bang. Same left hand, bang, bam. He doubled and tripled up on the left hand, man. Hey, this is my dog right here, man. Hey, you gotta hop on real quick, Q. You gotta hop on, man. You got to hop on, cause you know what I mean. Q, my dog, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm forever indebted. Man, but yeah, man, for me, dude, you gotta beat the champion. Like, you gotta realize, beat the champion. It's gotta be convincing, and everything else. It wasn't convincing at all. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't convincing at all. It's good, Q. It wasn't convincing at all, dog. You know what I'm saying? Quite disgusting. Like, dude, he had one arm. You couldn't outclass him. You couldn't dominate that man. Come on. Greenmount Ave, what's up with it, bro? Salute to you for coming through. Yeah, you couldn't dominate him. One arm? Come on, man. You can't get no respect from me. Not when a nigga only had one arm. You know what I'm saying? Let that man get away with one arm. D Will, what's up with you, boy? Yeah, man. Gotta beat the champ. Gotta beat the champ. So listen, man, if you are in Arizona, February 5th, we're going to see Raymond Ford get down. That's the only fight I care about that day. But I have my cousin Mikey with me. I'll also be out there. Maybe I want to move out there so I can kind of see the real estate and go from there like that. So, but yeah, man, I'm just trying to see what's going on. I'm trying to get it, trying to get it cracking. You know what I mean? We're gonna have a good weekend that weekend. So if y'all are in the Arizona, if y'all in the Phoenix area, or even like close by, man, pull up, man. We got have a good time. It's a DAZN card, so I don't know how they move around yet. This is my first DAZN card, but I'm looking forward to seeing him get down in a major way. Yeah, hey, G-Ab, I'm telling you, bro, it's crazy to me how people can say like, oh, he won that fight convincingly, and the man didn't really do shit, bro. He's a big for nothing nigga, and I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. That shit ain't gonna work with a better fighter, dude. Shit ain't gonna work. Nigga going to sleep. Come on, man. That shit is not gonna work with a better fighter. A better fighter will put that man straight to bed. It wouldn't even last long, man. With a real fighter. Come on, man. Give us that one arm. And listen, to be real, he was cool. He was cool in the first couple rounds, but after that he slowed down like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And dude, he made no adjustments. No adjustments. He made no adjustments, bro. So I don't understand what niggas was watching, bro. Ain't no fair and square about that, but that shit was a setup for the gate. Because when you hear the commentary, you know what I'm saying? Most of the time, the commentary tells you who they want you to win. You know what I'm saying? They kind of tell you who they feel like they want to win the fight. So they're gonna tell you like, oh yeah, this guy's doing this, he's doing that, he's doing that, he's doing that, he's doing that. And it can be totally false. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that's how it go, but nah, hell no. Nah. And that punch count was fucking hold on. That punch count was fucking awful. Hey, that punch count was definitely off. Damon, what's up with it, bro? Salute to you. Salute to my dog, Reggie Owens, man. Hey, Reg, we got to talk, Reg. We got to talk. Because I seen a little bit of your live today, man, and I got to disagree with you, man. That Mateo nigga ain't do shit. All he did was come forward, bro. He was missing. That aggressive was ass cheeks. Yeah, man. Dude, his dad was supposed to be in a hospital too. If I want to join the panel, link is in the chat, man. Hop on, Reg. Yeah, but I just you gotta beat the champ, man. You gotta outclass the champ. You gotta really beat the champion for me to be like, all right, yeah, I'm with it. I wasn't with that. Definitely wasn't with that. You know, but I'm curious to see what y'all think. For real, for real. My boy, like, hey, listen, my dog, man, Reggie. Oh, what's up, Reg?
What's up, Kyle? What's poppin'?
Hey, my nigga got a full beard out here in these streets, y'all. Hey, listen, my nigga Reg got a full beard out here, cuz.
Oh, don't worry, it'll be shaved off by tomorrow.
Hey, Reg. Okay, so I heard your opinion on your channel, but I want you to reiterate it on my channel. Tell me what you thought about the fight last night.
What I thought about, I thought Gary lost, and I thought, and the reason why Gary lost, there's a lot of excuse making that's brought out here for Gary to protect and defend Gary rather than Gary owning up to his own faults. This fight's been lost way before this happened, and Gary's responsible for this shit. Gary can't put his misfortunes on Al Heyman. He can't put his misfortunes on Floyd Mayweather. He can't put his misfortunes on Abner Mares. He can't put them on Leo Santa Cruz. The issues lie strictly within Gary and everyone else with him who helps deal with his business as well as his preparation in the boxing. Now he comes into this event crying about some injury, which should have been disclosed. That shit was for the fighter that he was going to step in there with to figure out, not to come in there and try to settle upon some already made excuse. Then he comes out here following the fight to make this excuse about some old 14-year ago shit that happened during the Olympics. Why he propped around and talked this old tough gangstified bullshit about what he did to Terrence, but never, not once during this Olympic talk has he brought up about an injury that he sustained back then. Now going into this fight, you got to account for the ring rust issues, even before the injury came about. Gary didn't look like fucking Gary. Wasn't none of this quick speed shit that we're used to seeing with Gary. We didn't see the combination. We didn't see none of that goddamn shit from Gary. Gary looked a little bit rustic going into this shit. He looked like he'd been away for 2.5 years. That opponent he went in there with had no respect for Gary. He walked forward at Gary. Now, whether he connected with a lot of shit, made it or not, he didn't miss Gary all night. Did he miss a lot of punches? Yeah. But his thing was he's going in here to try to take the damn belt away from a champion. And he didn't shy away from that shit. The moment they become too big, Gary wasn't putting nothing up on the dude to keep him from walking forward at Gary. He marched forward at Gary all night. Then when Gary tried to start to come on, he threw that punch, which was a super solid ass punch. And it hit the guy square in the face. But based on the position where that guy was standing, Gary throwing a whole lot of power and weight behind that punch, and that guy standing right there pulled some shit up out of Gary's arm. And the reaction you got from Gary was instant pain. He couldn't even play that shit off. But the opponent, luckily for Gary, is that he went in there with such a young opponent. The opponent not figuring out what he should have did at that moment. Now, what that opponent didn't do, it didn't stop him from winning rounds. That whole thought of you got to take it from the champion is some motherfucking mythical bullshit. It's probably some shit that people watched in a movie and ran along with the shit. But the thing is, you take it round by round. Fights are fought in rounds. And if you win in that round, a champion don't get it because he's a champion. A champion must fight hard as well. A champion has to prove to those who contend with him why he's a champion and why you don't belong. And if that champion can't prove that, he loses that round. And that's what was happening with Gary. It wasn't so much of Gary getting his ass whooped, because that wasn't happening, but Gary was losing his fight. His fighter came right at Gary. He was letting off punches, sticking off jabs, missing shit. The only time Gary landed something, because of this guy being young, inexperienced, walking forward and not respecting Gary, he'll walk into a left hand. Did the left hands buzz him? No, there was nothing there from Gary. There's nothing for this guy to worry about. Now, what the guy should have did when Gary had no other choice but to start moving around the way he did, because the guy just couldn't catch Gary because of what? That wasn't there, that IQ, his inexperience going in there. He didn't know how to cut the ring off on Gary. It would have been a subtle shit he could have did to cut the ring off on Gary, tear that fucking arm up, turn Gary arm into prosthetic mode. And matter of fact, he hit Gary in one moment where he tried to throw a body punch and he hit Gary in the elbow and it numbed the fuck out that arm. That's why that arm ended up going limp. It was like a round or two after when the injury first started. But the guy didn't work on it. He kept trying to walk in at Gary, not cutting the ring off, following around with Gary going in the wrong angles, but he was walking at Gary. Don't act like he wasn't popping Gary, having Gary to curl up. Gary just couldn't do enough. You ain't gonna win no fight throwing 5 left-hand punches, no jab or anything to go along with it. Just pivot, stepping backwards throughout the whole fight. The judges' scorecards to me were complete bullshit. I don't think that fight was close to no damn draw. Don't see how that one woman got as a draw, and I don't see how those other 2 judges had it as just a 2-round fight. Now, people talking about this is the other shit that
what
fight fans, that shit was bullshit. That fight wasn't close like that. But this is the other thing.
How'd you have
delusional. Go ahead.
How'd you have it?
And I ain't had Gary winning but 1 fucking round.
Come the fuck on.
I wish we can sit there and watch this fight. That's why I don't watch fights with people. But I'm gonna start watching fights with motherfuckers because I want people to start breaking down what they're watching. Because too many people in boxing are fucking fangirls. That's why I'm coining my new coin, which I'm phrasing that's too many fansexuals in boxing. Fan vestites. They get in with fighters they love and they sit on their knees and suck these fighters off rather than keeping it real. We got to start sitting and watching real fights. And I'm gonna start doing on my channel, regardless if they want to strike them or not. Because I want to see how fucking fight fans view fucking fights. We need to get more education in the boxing. But go ahead.
Tuesday is that's my film study day.
No, I don't want to do it to where we're not displaying. I want to start displaying that shit.
Hey, listen, I'm still trying to get monetized out here in these streets, man. But if Gary didn't win it, it was for damn sure a draw. But that dude, listen, the more cleaner and effective punches, bro, came from Gary Russell, bro. That dude was missing Wiley. He was doing whole turnaround 360s and shit. Like, come on, man. That's got the bro. Defensively, the nigga couldn't hit him. Listen, if a motherfucker got one arm, right, and you can't dominate that nigga, you're ass. And you need to, I can't give you a round. I can't if you're not dominating that man with one arm, Rich. If you're not dominating that man with one arm, bro, I cannot give you that round, man. There's no way I can give you a round. You're not dominating that man. He got one arm, bro.
Hold on. Can I step in on that? Can I step in on that point real quick, bro?
Count your handicap points.
What, man? And this is my problem, bro. Like, because this man came in injured, I'm not giving him extra credit for that. I'm not giving him extra credit because he only had one hand. I'm not giving this man any extra credit. And that's what it seemed like is going on is a lot of people are saying, and even me, I scored the fight 7-5 for Matt Sale, but I'm not mad at at a draw. I'm not mad at 7-5 for Gary Russell Jr. I'm not mad at any of that. My problem is when people are sitting here calling it a robbery, it wasn't a robbery, bro. When I'm not giving this dude any extra credit for fighting with one hand. I'm not. Once you step into the boxing ring, the same way when I watched Lomachenko get his ass whooped by Tio, I didn't give Lomachenko no extra credit for fighting supposedly with a hurt shoulder. I'm not giving you extra credit for getting in the ring hurt. You don't get extra credit for that. You are still held to the same standard that I hold any other boxer to when you get into the fight. And I think we would agree the aggressor usually gets more rounds than the individual who's on the back foot. Now, if you on the back foot and you countering crazy, that's one thing. Gary Russell Jr., there was certain rounds where he might have had 3, 4, maybe 5 punches that, yeah, they connected. But at the same time, when this man that came out and threw 40 punches in the round, connected with 15 of them, you know what I'm saying? I'm
connected. He didn't listen, and them punch stats. Listen, dog, them punch stats was way off too. Them punch stats was way off, bro.
I agree. I'm not going by I'm just going by
listen. For me, and for a nigga in the chat that said I had Rigondeaux winning that fight, his last fight. He outclassed the nigga. No matter if you throw 1 punch or 10 punches, if you threw 100 punches and you ain't hit me one time, and you can't just because you're swinging You gotta land punches. It's hit. You gotta hit. You have to hit the man. You gotta hit your target, bro. He missed hella punches. He was throwing a 10-punch combination and hit and landed one punch. Come on, you can't give a nigga no round throwing 100 punches and only landing one. And every time you come in, you get hit with the same punch over and over and over again. No head movement, no adjustments. Come on, man. He outclassed that man. He outboxed that man with one hand, bro.
You ain't outclassed nothing. Look, Cal, I agree with you about the Rigo thing. I thought he won, but then even with that, Rigo wasn't doing a fuck enough to give him that fucking fight.
What does that even mean, though? If the nigga that I'm fighting can't hit me,
Cal, that dude,
he's missing. Hold on, listen.
No.
He's missing. He's missing hard. The motherfucker swinging so hard and missing. He doing 360s in the fucking ring. He almost fell out the ring once or twice. Bro, listen. Ain't no fucking way you can get him in that round.
Cal, you don't lose points because
it was a draw at best.
Cal, in boxing, this is the problem with you boxing fans. When you throw punches and you miss them, you don't get deducted points for swinging and missing. You don't lose points for that. Now, the thing with Rigo, I thought Rigo was cheating that last fight, but based on with some of these flawed ass judges, them not liking what they saw, but that still doesn't grant those judges to take that fight away from Rigo. In Rigo fight, that dude wasn't touching Rigo. Last night, that guy was hitting Gary, and Gary's face showed it. I don't know if you want to pull a picture up of Gary's face, but if you look at Gary's face, you can't make up no dang falsified excuse that he wasn't touching Gary. Yeah, Gary in moments where he's cracking him with big shots. He was hitting Gary to the body. The thing is, people have to factor in Gary has blown this shit. It sat on the shelf too long. His body has become non-resistant to punch. He doesn't have that punch resistant like he should. And if he goes in there with somebody much more skilled and more aggressive, Gary's gonna fuck around and get embarrassed and stop. And people have sat there because Gary comes on their channel and love him, which we all do. I like Gary, but I ain't about to fucking make up excuses for Gary to sit and ride that he blames Al Heyman and him. He signs his whole family to him. It's not about that. It's about every excuse Gary does to not realize where he's at fault. And he hasn't fixed shit. He comes into this fight missing weight. He got excuse for that. Well, the scale was off and I thought my scale was this and that. Then he comes back in and have to make weight. Come on, Gary. You knew something wasn't working with it. And on top of that, there's mental factors working with it. Gary done fucking been through some shit. It's more than what we see on screen that is going on behind the scenes of these fighters. I understand he lost his brother. That plays into this shit. He's dealing with the shit with his father. That plays into the shit. And the fact that there's reasons behind him sitting on the fucking shelf. I mean, people got to stop making excuses for him, but it's come to where that window has closed and Gary has fucked himself by coming on people's shows like Fred and bashing those who pay him. Now that you have lost this title, you're no longer a champion. That fucking pay, which he's complained about, really has fucking diminished when he should have been fighting those fights to make himself prominent. Now you're no longer a prominent figure within the sport. You're just a guy they're going to write the fuck off. And you think those bosses, if they were really fucking you, are really going to stick it to you? They just might. If that's the case, they were doing it. They have every right. They can't go about the wrong way. But go ahead.
And Reggie, one thing I want to speak on, because I agree with what you just said, bro. One thing I noticed in the fight, you know what I'm saying? Well, not necessarily in the fight, but when you go look before at all the pre-fight workup, you know what I'm saying? When you look at the weigh-ins, when you look at the press conference, bro, I ain't never seen a fighter get into the stare down and not fucking stare nobody down. How you looking at somebody's chest? Gary, it just seemed like the man's mind wasn't in the fight. That's what it really looked like. Now, the thing I would say, and this is a little biased from me, but what it seemed like then happened is he got the Devin Haney the Devin Haney curse, because look what then happened to those who ducked Devin Haney. He had to fight with Devin Haney, and he should have made that fight for, well, I think it was 1.5 for him. You know what I'm saying? He should have made that fight happen, but he ducked him. He outpriced himself. And when you look at Tio, when you look at Loma, when you look at all the individuals who done ducked Devin Haney, and what happened? They next fight, they look like scrubs in their next fight. That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying is looking at this fight, I'm not saying that he was dominated, anything like that. But what I am saying is that the more active fighter, the more aggressive fighter is usually going to get the nod. And Gary was on the back foot the whole night. Yes, he was countering. Yes, he was turning them. But at the same time, he was on the back foot. And I don't think he was outboxed, but I think he was out of I think the aggression that Matt Sale came with made the fight much closer than it may have been if Gary would have had two hands. But I'm not giving Gary any credit for not having two hands. I'm not giving him any credit for that. You stepped into the ring, so I'm judging you like I judge any other fighter. And so at the end of the day, bro, if Buddy putting the pressure on you, yeah, you may hit him with 5 shots, but out of the 15 shots you threw, you hit him with 5. This man threw 40 shots and hit you with 10. I'm probably gonna get this man the round. That's how I'm looking at it.
Well, see, but that's what I'm saying is, bro. Listen, if you throw a lot of that's like Russell Westbrook, bro. Yeah, he had 30, but he shot 80 times to get it.
Hey, Russell Westbrook averaging a triple double.
Yeah, and he also got 15 turnovers. So that
it's
shit
about
don't matter.
winning.
Listen, bro.
If they're winning the games, look, if they're winning the games, Cal, all that statistical bullshit don't mean nothing except his statistic percentage is low, but he's helping to win game because all that matters is points.
Who's winning games? The Lakers suck right now. Listen, this is what I'm saying though. This is what I'm saying. Aggression. What the fuck is aggression? Aggression don't land punches. Aggression do not land punches. The man had zero defense.
But aggression is a
think ring. About it. Think about this, bro.
Go ahead.
He literally got hit with the left hand 5 times. He got hit with a left hand. How the fuck you get hit with a combo with the same fucking hand? Gary Russell hit that nigga with he hit him with a 5-piece combo with the same fucking hand. And y'all mean to tell me y'all gonna say he won that fight? Come on, man. He got hit with a 5-piece combo with one fucking hand.
But see,
bang, 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 bang.
But this is the problem, bro. This is the problem. We can always go back and look at the fight. You know what I'm saying?
We can. Tuesday. Listen. Film study on Tuesday.
Just hear me out, though. We can always go back and play Monday morning quarterback and look at the fight 2 or 3 more times after it initially happened. As a judge, when they're looking at and scoring that fight, you know what I'm saying? They're not looking at replays. They're looking at what's going on in the ring. So when they see an aggressor, they're going to give that individual the edge. That's a normal judging process. Unless you're doing something, especially when you're only throwing the left hand, right? When you're only doing more or less pop shots. And Floyd won on pop shots, but Floyd defense was as tight as it could be. Maceo was landing, or he was throwing punches and he was landing punches. Now he wasn't landing according to, or forget the CompuBox, just from the eye test. He won. It ain't like I never thought he had Gary Russell hurt. I didn't think that. But at the same,
let me tell you how bad the commentary was last night. If you wasn't listening to Reggie Owens, then you heard some bullshit.
Hold on, Cal, real quick. So I just want to put it out there. Even with the commentary, when I watched the fight, I got it all the way on mute. I'm listening to the OG KQKC. You feel me? So I'm not even, when I'm watching the fight, I'm listening to a whole nother commentary than what the commentary is on the screen. So I don't think the commentary had anything to do with my judgment.
No, I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. Not you.
Great fucking point.
Listen, I'm going to tell you how bad it was, though, Reg. Just for they were like, oh, yeah, he landed punches, right? You can see Gary Russell clearly blocked a punch. The nigga gonna say, he didn't get him. He landed, but he didn't land it cleanly. Nigga, bro, he blocked the whole fucking punch on the replay. Dude, they had some of the worst Reg, you watched that fight, bro. That was some of the worst replays you've ever seen in your fucking life, dude.
But bro,
I'm a boxing fan. These niggas, let me say this. This is the problem. This is how I know you niggas don't be watching boxing. I hear every weekend when niggas watch some shit that they don't like, they cry about commentary. If you're a boxing fan, you know boxing, you turn that shit the fuck off.
No, I know that.
So focusing on what these commentators are saying. One thing, listen, one thing, the ref doesn't hear what those commentators are saying. The judges don't hear what these commentators are saying. Neither does the fucking fighters. There's boxing, and if fans are watching boxing rather than needing to be told what they're watching, what's the complaint? Stop focusing on it. If you know they talking bullshit, turn the volume up. That's why TVs come with volumes and remotes.
So the reason why I listen to the sound, because I like to argue with them niggas. You know what I mean? I like to argue with them niggas while I'm watching the fight. Nigga, you out your fucking mind, nigga. You crazy? You know what I'm saying? I like to argue with them niggas while I'm watching the fight. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't think none of us would disagree that boxing commentary, they gonna definitely support the network fighter. You feel me? Whoever the network fighter is, they definitely gonna give that extra support. The problem in this situation was Gary Russell technically is one of the network fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Not really though. Now I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why, bro. If y'all notice, a lot of these Manny Pacquiao fighters have been getting a major push.
Boy, and they getting a good Pitbull Cruz. A hell of a push.
You know the boy that fought Rigondeaux's a Pacquiao fighter.
What that mean?
What I'm saying is, he said that he's the network boy. I said, nigga, they kind of moving in a different direction.
Y'all pushing bullshit narratives again.
I'm just
black motherfuckers on this YouTube shit go with this excuse making. Once again, Al Heyman don't run fucking FUBU. He don't run Black Boo. He runs a fucking company full of international fighters. Now, if Pacquiao, this is the thing with bullshit fighters. If Pacquiao's running a promotional company with fighters who ain't turning down fucking fights, companies like dealing with people like that. And if these fighters ain't turning down fights and they're prepared and they're ready and they're taking on fights, you can throw them in there as some late replacement and they're in good enough shape to come out here and put in quality performances, you're going to get the work. And any company wants to sign people like that. Now, you motherfuckers come in here running this shit that Al Heyman pushing Pacquiao pushing good product. So why the fuck you ain't going to deal with Pacquiao? Now, it's up to these other fighters. If they stop coming into events half fucking ass, they'll run through these damn opponents who shouldn't be in there with them. Now, people can't say this a fight event was against Gary Russell. If it was for the Pacquiao fighter, it would have been fought in LA. It wouldn't have been fought way on the East Coast, near where Gary Russell has the population of the event. So people can't say this event was against Gary. And because Pacquiao fighters are in here getting the fights, what does that mean? Pacquiao is part of this promotional thing. And I think Pacquiao is probably best for boxing than you see with a lot of other boxers. He's doing right by his fighters. He's putting them in position. Not only him, the fighters are putting themselves in position by training properly and being ready. Because at any moment, the opportunity knocks on your door. American fighters and black fighters got to start waking the fuck up, get disciplined, and separate yourself from street shit. Separate yourself from the homies and be fucking ready.
Man, that's that. And even with Pitbull Cruz, I thought Gervonta Tank Davis won that fight. But at the same time, I thought Pitbull came in. He put on in such short notice. He put on a hell of a fight. You know what I'm saying? He came forward. He came ready. That's all I'm gonna say. He came ready to fight that night. And yeah, I thought he lost the fight. But at the same time, look how he came prepared to be ready for that fight in such short notice. So it's very possible for you to be ready for a fight in short notice. That's proof right there. And so it's hard for me to give individual extra credit because they were hurt. You being hurt is not on the other fighters. It's on you. Because you were hurt, you don't get extra credit for that. I'm not giving you any extra credit. If this man don't go knock you out when he should knock you out, and I agree, he should have knocked him out if he is that caliber fighter. I don't think he is that caliber fighter. But at the same time, I'm not mad at the judge's decision because, like I've said from the beginning, I had to fight 7-5 either way or a draw. Any of those, anything that would have came out of it, I would have been fine with. You know what I'm saying? And for people to come out saying that this was a robbery, I just think that's kind of biased because You can't call a robbery is when an individual wins something 9-3, something like that, when they were clearly losing the fight. That's a robbery, in my opinion. A 7-5 fight where two judges or one judge had it a draw, the other two judges had a 7-5. I don't think that's a robbery. I think that's a 50-50 fight that could have went either way, especially with an individual who only had one hand. So I'm not giving anybody a pass for being injured, because the injury is on you. It's really on you. And if, in my opinion, if you don't have the confidence in your promotional team to say, "Hey, I'm hurt, I don't need to be fine. I need to take a few minutes off of this fight. We need to push this back." And you don't have the confidence that they're gonna back you in that and pushing it back. Then you may be signed with the wrong people. I don't know what it is. I ain't gonna say you signed with the wrong people. I don't know what it is. Whatever it is, though, it's on you. You know what I'm saying? It's on the fighter. So at the end of the day, I'm not giving anybody a pass for being injured. The same way when Lomachenko said that his shoulder was hurt. I don't give a damn if your shoulder was hurt or not. You lost the first fucking 7 rounds against Tio. It is what it is. And we need to call a spade across the whole board. That's my opinion.
Absolutely, 100%. And as fans of black fighters or your black fans or whatever the term you had, motherfuckers need to grow some fucking nuts and stop complaining all the fucking time, creating excuses because fighters done lost and thinking there's some conspiracy to be against the black fighters. Every black fighter ain't gonna be fucking undefeated, especially if he comes in here with a lack of preparations. Now, hopefully motherfuckers ain't go out there putting money in the bet after Gary comes out there and tell you, "Oh, I got this injury and this and that, and just in case I lose this fight," and then come out here and talk about and then the other delusion about you what did he say? He schooled this guy. You ain't schooled shit. Wasn't no schooling going on. It wasn't. You didn't do enough to school anybody. You kept yourself out of trouble. You did a great job at that. But schooling, and I don't think no lessons was learned in this one. Regrets. Yeah, Maxeo could have did better and got this guy up out of here. Could have damaged that arm more. And then Gary continuing on. How much more damage was put on the arm, staying in there? I mean, the shit has to stop, man. This is why other people come in here laughing at a lot of people who sit here and cry and think everything about racist people fuck with them. No, I think some people getting a kick out of teasing and playing with motherfuckers and watch people, grown ass people, cry and complain. Like Gary is gonna have to work on his brothers, man. The focus has to be his brothers. And the other side of things where people talk about the Al Heyman shit. As a matter of fact, Gary needs to stay away from other channels that put him in a position to open his mouth and say stupid shit. And the other side of things, like with talk about like they trying to screw Gary and all this shit. Gary's brother's getting a step up opportunity. It's going there against Post Style. And that is a great opportunity. If anybody was trying to fuck his brother over, he wouldn't be getting an opportunity of stepping up. Now, the other side of shit I hope people don't do, these weak-minded fans, is that if Gary brother goes in here against a former champion, super experienced Post Style, and he loses this fight, that you're gonna get these weak-minded, fake-ass fans who are black come in here and talk to some dumb shit that they set Gary Russell brother, I think it's Gary Antoine. They set Gary Antoine up and they was trying to just make him lose. Who the fuck going in there to do that shit? This is the fight business. It's about competition. This ain't about just setting it up to where black folks get the easy walk. If Bob Aaron runs a company like that, let his white ass run a company like that. This ain't play, you move and I move. This is business operation, and fighters got to fucking function in the way they got to operate, as well as business people. If they want to be, if they choose to being black, they'll come in here well conditioned, well planned out, and do their fucking thing. But go ahead, bro.
Well, and Kyle, I want to hear from you, bro. I don't mean to take your shit over, bro. Like,
now, listen. This is a platform where everybody get to get their shit off. I ain't tripping. Shit, I'm damn near dozing off on you niggas. That's why I cut my camera off.
Boy, you a lazy ass fucking channel runner. God damn, nigga.
Hey, listen.
Mad at you, bro. At least you keep it 100, bro. Like, that's why I ain't even gonna lie. I respect that, bro. I respect the realness, but at the same time, we got to put it out there, bro. We got to put the realness out there. And we got to just be like, hey man, the boxing politicians are who they are. That's one thing in 2022. I told myself, man, that's one thing I'm gonna speak on moving forward is the boxing politicians.
They
The
all
boxing
full of shit.
politicians
Listen,
are, are
listen, they
go ahead.
all in cahoots. You feel me? All them niggas, listen, I don't give a fuck what they say. All them niggas in cahoots. They all pieces of shit. They all work together. They all fuck fighters over. They all together. Like
But
the
but
thing about
but this is the problem right here. Because you can say that, and we know this. I agree with everything you just said. Boxing politicians, they all full of shit. From the Bob Arams, the Al Haymans, the Rick Glaciers, the Cameron Duncan, all the politicians. They looking out for their best interests. You know what I'm saying? You go back and listen to Fred conversation with Cameron Duncan and what he said. Yeah, I'm gonna leave I'm gonna put my fighters in there with soft touches for a good little minute, right? Okay, cool. That's how you want to run your shit. I ain't mad at that. But all I'm saying is when you put your fighters in there against soft touches, it's robbing the boxing fans of the best fights. And
it's also robbing the boxer.
But well, they not worried about the boxer. They only worried about they bottom line. That's why they politicians. You know what I'm saying? And these are the worst people for boxing. And then I look at the situation and I always go back. Even now, you look at how Manny Pacquiao, he started his own brand. Yeah, he working with other promotional groups. Devin Haney started his own brand. He working with other promotional groups. Gervonta Tank Davis started his own brand, working with other promotional groups. You can start your own shit and work with others, but at the same time, you can't let the politicians take control of your career. Look at Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford is the prime example of it. He has never taken control and betted on himself for his own career. And what's going on now? He 34, 35 years old in court suing Bob Arum when he's supposed to be having major fights happening right now. You know what I mean? So and he can damn near, they talking about he gonna move up so he can fight the winner out of Charlo and Castano or whatever, Castano. But at the same time, bro, you should have got the Manny Pacquiao fight. Once Bob Arum told your ass I killed the fight, nigga, you should have been gone. But that's not what they doing because they don't have that business mind behind them. And I'm not faulting them for it, but at the same time, I'm gonna give credit where credit is due. Floyd Mayweather put he put the standard out there for the niggas, man. He put it out there for you. You had Adrian Broner. He followed that mold and was very successful until his ass started getting drunk and acting the damn fool. You know what I'm saying? But now you got a Devin Haney who's out here following that same mold. This man is making more outside of Gervonta Tank Davis, who's a pay-per-view star or pay-per-view attraction. I'm not gonna say star yet because you say star, everybody want to get on your neck about it. But he does very well with his pay-per-views. Whereas with Devin Haney, he ain't been on pay-per-view, but he done found his own lane to make his money with Eddie Hearn. So all I'm saying is go out and build your own brand. Stop letting other people control your career. And this conversation would be very mute between the three of us, because at the end of the day, what we gonna say? We're gonna be like, well, this dude, he has taken control of his career and he going out and he doing the best for himself. And that's my biggest issue with all of what we're talking about is what it comes down to is boxing politicians. And the politicians, the same way that in the government, the politicians, they supposed to get paid what, $170,000 a year, but some type of way they got options into all type of stocks and they end up making a couple 2, 3, 4, 5 million a year. That's the same thing these motherfuckers are doing. They taking advantage of their fighters. And at some point in time, individuals need to start recognizing somebody like Shakur Stevenson. I'm hoping that this lawsuit for that Bud Crawford got going on shows Shakur that, okay, yeah, coming out of the Olympics, I'm gonna sign with a top rank. I need a engine behind me. I need a machine behind me. Top rank is that machine. But after I done fulfilled my term to that contract, I'm moving on, making my own shit happen now because I done built a name for myself. Devin and Devin Haney, the man has literally showed you that what Floyd Mayweather was talking about is very possible, but it take a strong mind behind it. And I hate to say it this way, but a lot of individuals are very weak minded and they not gonna bet on themselves. So if they not gonna bet on themselves, I'm not finna continue to look at the Eddie Hearns and the Bob Arams and the Al Haymans of the world and blame them. I'm gonna start looking at you and saying you knew this shit was going on. So why you didn't make adjustments the same way you gonna make an adjustment in a fight? Why when you make a business adjustment to put yourself in the best position? And at the end of the day, we got to call bullshit bullshit.
Yeah, that's a fact. And it's the thing, right? The reason why we talk about Al Heyman is because of the dream that he sold us. You dig what I'm saying? Hold on, Reg. Don't screw your face, nigga. Shit. I'm gonna tell you this though. Keith Thurman versus Mario Barrios, $79. You out of your fucking mind.
It's not even that's not even a pay-per-view fight. I don't know why. How the hell you go charge $80 when it's not even a pay-per-view fight with two niggas coming off of a loss? Keep going. My bad, bro.
Yeah. What dream did Al Heyman sell y'all? Or did y'all jump on and become ultra fans because he's black and he gonna do for the black? He gonna stick it to these other
I'm just telling you what the man
white
said.
motherfuckers. Al Heyman ain't sell nobody no fucking dream. He don't even talk to nobody. I think people place their own attachments to what he was supposed to do. No, he's a black man running a fucking business enterprise. Now the thing with the Keith Thurman thing is straight up bullshit. I hope nobody. Well, it's hard for me to even fucking try not to order a pay-per-view event, but I'm not about to order that shit. They out of their goddamn minds. But if that mean I'm gonna bash Al Heyman, nah, ain't about to do it because he outside of that he runs an extremely great business. But that pay-per-view shit, hell nah.
Yeah, man, it's shit crazy. I mean, it's just it really is. Like we were gonna get some great free fights. Think about this, Reg. Sean Porter versus Adrian Bronner was on free TV, dog. Just think about that shit. And now you give me fucking Mario Barrios and Keith Thurman, two people that just lost their last fight. One of them got brutally knocked out. And you want me to pay $79 for that fight, cuz?
But you gotta understand why. Look at it.
Hold on. Let me raise you one. Hold on. Let me finish this though.
My bad, bro. Go ahead.
Let me raise you. I'm gonna raise you one. The co-main event got knocked out by the same fucking guy the main event guy got knocked out by in his last fight. And he's getting, dude, I mean, you can't make this shit up, man.
You can't get. All right, so Kyle, check this out now. Now remember this. First thing you got to think about is these are PBC fighters, right? And who they got knocked out by? By a Floyd Mayweather fighter, right? So they were served as food from the beginning. That's the first thing. But now that they were served as food, what you got to do? Okay, I done made my money off of that, so now I need to make my money off of this. So now I got to put them in this pay-per-view, and people, they gonna love it because I got two individuals who was knocked out by what we think right now may be possibly a top 5 pound for pounder, minus the individuals he's fought. He's fought. You know what I'm saying? I think that a lot of people would say that Tank Davis could be on that pound for pound list easily. You know what I mean? But we hadn't seen him against too much competition. But the competition we see him against, he done knocked out. But now Al Heyman saying, okay, he done knocked them out. Now I can put them on the card and I can charge $80 for the pay-per-view. Come on, man. It's a business game. And I'm gonna be honest, Rick Glacier, Cameron Duncan, they got on Fred channel and they did their best. And I got on there and I talked about this. They did their best to prove to us that it wasn't racist, it was business, right?
Man, they pieces of shit. They said some shit like that.
They fought hard for it's not racism in the sport of boxing. It's all about business. But this is the thing though. Then I look at what Al Heyman is doing, especially charging $80 for this pay-per-view. And I can't necessarily disagree with that. The reason I can't disagree is because you got a black dude who, which once again, I think we need to really take a race out of the boxing politicians. Yeah, we could talk about the fighters as far as race goes, but I don't think we could talk about the politicians as far as race goes. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. The same way I would say that you look at what's the politician in government from damn, I can't think of the lady name. I can't think of her name right now. She, old ass black lady from California. Can't think of her name.
OG, Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters. She look. She not in Congress for black people. She in Congress to pad her goddamn pockets. That's a fact.
I agree with you on that.
We should have. I would love to have a conversation with you outside of it. Love to, but I believe she in Congress to pad her pockets. At the end of the day, I don't think they really care anything about the agenda of black people. So what I think is at some point in time, regardless if it's boxing, if it's any type of business, anything that you're doing, you got to start doing for yourself. If you're not doing for yourself and you let other people control what's going on in your career, then the fault is on you. And that's what I see a lot of going on in boxing. When you once again going back to Bud Crawford, when you allowing Bob Arum to control, you know what I'm saying? Bud came out when Bob said that he killed the Manny Pacquiao fight. That should have been the end of Bud and Bob at that time. Once he said that should have been the end of them because Bud was fighting for that fight. But once Bob came out and said, no, I'm killing this. Once he said that, it should have been, okay, you killing the fight I want when I'm under your promotional brand. I need to find someone who gonna make the fights that I want. But what did Bud do? He went and re-signed. We all said that he shouldn't re-sign. We saw that. But at the same time, that's what he did. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to sit here and blame Bob Arum. No, I'm going to blame Terrence Crawford because, hey, bro, you need to, at some point in time, you got to bet on yourself. Same way in real life. To start a YouTube channel, bro, you got to bet on yourself. You're betting on yourself to start a channel. You know what I'm saying? You betting that you have the charisma and you're able to garner or the content that you putting out is going to garner the fans and the support that you're looking for. You know what I'm saying? And so all I'm saying is we got to stop placing blame outside of ourselves because I look at myself personally. Bro, I got a job, yeah, but I got a couple businesses I'm working on. Why am I working on those? Because that job can let me go any day of the week. You know what I'm saying? I done seen it happen. So I got to make sure I got my ducks in a row. So when things happen, I'm in a positive place, you know what I'm saying, for myself and my family. And I feel like, and even I was looking at Blue today, and he had on Mickey Bay and Batman. You know what I'm saying? And Batman was Mickey. First off, Mickey Bay was saying, yeah, they froze me out for damn near 4 years out of fights. You know what I'm saying? And I needed them fights because I needed the money. And Batman was like, yeah, Gary Russell, he wasn't going to pull out the fight 2 weeks into getting injured because he needed that check. He ain't fought in 2 years. I understand you need that money. I understand that. But you put yourself in position to be reliant on others. And when you put yourself in that position, you can't be mad at how the other people that you supposedly think are supporting you, how they act. Because at the end of the day, they not worried about you. They worried about them. They worried about their bottom line. And so at the
real quick.
Go ahead.
Let y'all boys cook. Y'all can cook as long as y'all want. DJ will be in here in a couple minutes to like let people on and off.
Kyle, you done? You done, Kyle?
No, Kyle lazy fucking ass about to leave. I'm gonna put my ribs up real quick. I'm coming right back.
You ain't gotta.
I'm not leaving. I'm not jumping off. I'm just running downstairs to flip.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You ain't gonna go nowhere. But what I'm saying is, nigga, I gotta be at work at 4 a.m. though. So I
Oh,
got it.
no,
I'm
not
doing the 6. I'm doing the
And I want to
16
talk to
tomorrow.
DJ about Dana White raced his ass and that disrespect towards Ngannou.
What happened?
Oh man, this old bitch ass motherfucker, man. And like I said, Dana's a purified fucking bigot. When Ngannou been going through that contractual shit with Dana White, dealing with some money issues, in which was displayed only fucking making what is that flat rate, like $600,000 going into this pay-per-view event, which I think was a highly built and anticipated fight event between two greatly skilled heavyweights.
champions.
And when Ngannou pulls off the victory, who ain't there to wrap the belt, which he's always done, which is a customary thing, Dana fucking White. Who ain't there to do the post fight interview, Dana fucking White. Disrespecting this black champion, an African champion. It's a constant thing with that fucking bald headed
Man,
Floyd Mayweather bag holding punk.
now I got Reggie. This is one reason I kind of
Go
disagree.
ahead, I'm still listening from my phone. I'm gonna just run downstairs real quick.
No, do your thing, bro. Do your thing. I'm just gonna say I don't totally.
Y'all do your thing.
Hey, Kyle, real quick before you jump off, bro. Salute to you, man. I appreciate you opening the channel up, having the platform, bro. I'm coming through more often. I'm trying to support you as much as possible, bro. So salute to you, bro. And
appreciate that. Make sure you support that movie.
Hey, what Jay about to say, man. I asked you about the movie the other day, and I ain't get too much on it. I wasn't able to find it. So
hit that link in the chat. Hit that link.
Hold on. Let me check it out now.
It's pinned. Hey, y'all niggas, listen. I do have another job though, my nigga. I do gotta get work at 4 a.m.
Bro, I gotta be to work at 8, and I gotta get my son to school tomorrow, and I'm on East Coast time, so. Damn, I don't see the. Bro, I don't see it in the. Well, I'm in a different. I don't understand the other chat, bro. Being on StreamYard or whatever it is, I don't always see the links and shit, bro. Yeah, Cal tapped that on.
You can go on YouTube later on and check it out.
Hey, tomorrow, bro. You'll be on Fred channel. I'm gonna hit you tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, but yeah, man, I gotta be working at 4 a.m. and I'm doing it 16. So and I worked on my off days this week. So shit, I'm gonna give me a little sleep. Fuck y'all.
Hey, guess what?
Y'all can cook as long as y'all want to though.
Hey, guess what, bro? We love you, man. We appreciate you. We love you. We appreciate you. We salute you because you doing it big, man. And keep up the great work. And definitely gonna support the damn documentaries that you got coming out. I'm shocked that you got Rick Glacier on the documentaries. I want to see how that shit work out.
Listen, man, that motherfucker can talk finance.
Bro, that nigga can talk. He could find it. That nigga, he got a good talk game. It ain't about shit. It ain't about nothing whatsoever. But he can talk a good game, bro.
That's all you need is a nigga to talk.
Facts. But hey, salute to you, bro. Take it easy tonight.
Appreciate you. Yeah, but Cook though, you go ahead and talk as much as you want. Reg flipping ribs and shit. So go ahead.
Damn, I got the whole platform. All right, bet. So all I was saying was, man, to the chat, to anybody who listening right now, bro, you know, it's just crazy to me how you got these boxing politicians out here who done took control of the sport and they really denigrated the sport. It used to be about the best fighting the best. That's one thing. And you go back and you look in the 70s, the 80s, even the 90s. What did you have? You had the best fighting the best. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a bad thing to have an L on your record. I think Floyd Mayweather has done a lot of damage to the sport. He did a lot of great things for the sport, but he did a lot of damage to the sport by protecting that L. And it's so many fighters out here now so scared to lose a fight. Bro, you can lose a fight and come back from that. It was so many times that you look at Sugar Ray, you look at Marvin Hagler, you look at the greats, Muhammad Ali. Mike Tyson. You look at the greats. You tell me how many greats didn't have a loss. All of them mostly had a loss, minus Floyd Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? And the thing was we don't disrespect them because we saw the champion in them. We saw the heart in them. They were able to take a loss and to come back fight. And I feel like the boxing politicians that we have today, they've made the sport or they've moved toward making the sport about protecting the O. And everybody don't need to protect the O. It need to be undefeated fighters against undefeated fighters in the ring. Somebody got to take an L. It is what it is. But it shouldn't be any shame in taking that L. You know what I mean? You should be not necessarily excited, but you should be excited about finding the best. To be able to go out there and put your skills on display against the best fighters. We see all the and you look at some of the matches. I was listening to Cameron Duncan talking about putting individuals in there with soft touches. Bro, you got a Boots Ennis. Boots don't need to be in there with no soft touches. Boots need to be fighting the realists because Boots is one of the best. And I can say that, but I can't even prove it because I can't tell you he hadn't fought the best. Then you have the Bud Crawfords of the world, the Errol Spencers of the world. They not even looking to fight this man. I remember back when there used to be gatekeepers, those individuals who were saying, you know what, and the gatekeepers weren't those individuals who had taken a bunch of L's. They were individuals who were undefeated. They were some of the best fighters. And they were saying, hey, this dude has the skills, so I need to fight him. Let's see who's better. That's what we're looking for in this sport of boxing. We just want to see who's the best. I could care less if you have L's. I could care less if you're coming off a loss. You know what I'm saying? Now, I will say, if I don't understand how you got two people coming off a loss, Keith Thurman and Mario Barrios, or Mario Barrios, whatever you want to call it, Mario, whatever. But I don't understand how you can have both of them. Mario Barrios moving up to 147, talking about the WBC talking about this fight is for it's an eliminator, right? These two dudes ain't even in the top 10. So how the hell is this a championship eliminator? No, we need to just be honest and if they putting out rankings, right, to say who's the best, then we need to be respecting those rankings, and we need to have those individuals fighting each other. You know what I'm saying? The Boots Ennis and Virgil Ortiz, that should be a championship eliminator, right? It shouldn't be no damn Mario Barrios and Keith Thurman as no championship eliminator because I'm sorry, but yeah, Keith Thurman, he was great at one time 3 years ago. Mario Barrios, the man just can't. His last fight, he was knocked out. So how the hell is that a championship eliminator? It makes no.
Keeper's lying. That shit wasn't ain't an eliminator. Keeper's lying on that shit. Or Keeper speculating is what he did. Won't so much say he was lying, but he added speculation into it because when he was speaking on that video, he based the assumption on the fact that the WBC comes in there to ask him to weigh in. But all it was the fight being sanctioned by the WBC, and therefore he's going to need to do a weigh-in. And it's and I think it's something that any promotion would have did, being that Keith Thurman is a guy who ballooned in weight. You don't want a guy coming in here fucking over that fight.
And if that's the case, then hey, I'm wrong, and I don't mind ever saying I'm wrong. I have no problem with that. My thing is, but I don't put it past the WBC just because of the other nonsense that they've sanctioned and that they've came out and done. And so if Keith was wrong about that, hey, I'm more excited now than I was before if he was wrong about that, because ain't no way that should be a title eliminator. You know what I mean? If anything, because what it's looking like is Virgil Ortiz don't want to fight Boots Ennis, So if anything, whoever wins that fight need to be up against Boots Ennis. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to be in the title, if you want to call yourself the next in line, then go beat Boots. Go beat him. And I don't see neither one of them beating Boots, but I appreciate you enlightening me on that situation, bro.
Oh yes, indeed, yes, indeed. And I would like to see when Boots get in there with these dudes too. I'm not going to just say that Boots will beat Earl or Terrence Crawford because that is a huge step up in level for him. I know what we see when we watch Boots. We see he's highly skilled, strong fighter. He's dominating who he's been in there with. But things turn out different when you fight the when you're moving up to the top level. But then sometimes you get a guy who may be extremely better than the top level, and he can probably go in there and dominate those guys. But he will face some adversity, and the possibility of him losing, probably getting dominated by them, is also a possibility going into the thing as well. But it's a fight that has to happen. Um, I
But
mean, I would like to see Virgil Hill. I mean, no, what's that fool? Virgil Ortiz lined up with Boots Ennis, but I think they're starting to pull the reins back on Virgil Ortiz once he got a little taste of stepping up in his two fights, and things didn't look as it didn't look as
as good as it should have. And
yeah in all his other fights, and it was like Hooker gave him tough opposition. It was someone Mean Machine gave him tough opposition, and there
and
was someone else.
now this is the thing. This is where my problem comes in because the same problem I got with Virgil Ortiz is what I got with Gervonta Tank Davis, right? Virgil Ortiz in his next fight, he finds somebody who ain't even in the damn top 15 of the WBC. Okay, so if that's the case, bro, you fighting the damn tomato can, bro. We know you gonna go out and knock this. You probably gonna knock this man out. I don't even know who the dude is. I seen the I can't when I say I don't know, I seen him. I seen the name, but I don't even remember who he is. That should not be who. If this man is supposed to be, and I was looking at the rankings, I think he in the top 2 of the WBC, the top 3 of the IBF, the top 2 of the WBA, and the top 2 of the WBO, I believe. And I could be wrong about that by one or two positions, but at the same time, you find somebody who ain't even in the top 15. Nah, bro. Like once you get to a certain level, prospect or not, you need to be having tough competition, regardless. And I think that's what going back to Cameron Duncan, how Cameron Duncan told us how, yeah, I'm putting soft touches out here so my fighters can do this, this, and this. Okay, that's all good and well, but at the same time, I know you're trying to develop a fighter, but at the same time, when individual got a name like Boots got, Boots don't need no more development. He need to be in there with the best. We want to see him fight. The same way I'm gonna say Devin Haney, he need to be in there with the best. The same way I'm gonna say Tank Davis need to be in there with the best. Stop giving me the nonsense and give me some great fights because we want to see skill versus skill. We want to see toughness versus toughness, and we want the best to come out and to be those individuals who are fighting for those championships. You know what I mean? And my thing, it seems like the politicians of boxing, which 2022 is the year that anytime y'all hear me from now on, y'all probably gonna hear me say something about boxing politicians. The reason being is because they the one who's screwing the sport. They screwing the sport up by matchmaking, right? And when you say matchmaking, we want the best against the best as fans. I understand you got a bottom line, and I can't be mad at you for trying to protect your bottom line. But at the same time, I can be upset when the best ain't find the best. I can be upset about that as a boxing fan. And so when you start sitting here putting out soft touches for individuals who got 23, 24 fights, nah, it's time for them to move up and for them to start accepting the competition. I was listening earlier today, and My boy Batman. Batman was showing out today. He had him and Mickey Bay. They had a hell of a show with Blue Blood. But at the same time, they were talking about how at 140 after Devin Haney, if Devin Haney get the fight with Cambosis to become undisputed, you know, Mickey Bay was saying, well, he gonna move up to 140 after that. Well, when he move up, I want to see him against Gary Antoine. I mean, Antoine. Is it Antoine? Which one is it? Antoine, I believe. Gary Antoine Russell at one.
Versus see, I don't know what weights they fight. So many of them.
Well,
They're getting their opportunities, man, and their opportunities will come from based on the work they do, performances they give off, but they can't go into being bitter. They can't go into making complaints. They just have to avoid everything they watched their older brother go through, or go about and voice. They're having issues. Keep them out the public. If you need an attorney, if they're that egregious, somebody screwing over your career, that's what the legal system is there for. Take them to court. You don't run a YouTube to slander someone. Usually, retired fighter is okay to do that, but if you're an active fighter and you're talking about being that active, they'll throw you on the shelf. But them dudes, it's the sky's the limit. You can't run off and create the complaints to try to scapegoat other people. Even watch Tank Davis almost fall down that same damn road. When he's given opportunities, he's talking about people trying to sabotage his damn career. The delusion that comes from a lot of these guys, but it's a tough mental ass sport, very very tough mental sport. But
and the
the
men.
Russell are in good hands. I think things are lined up for him. The same thing with Jerron Ennis. I think things are lined up for him. I can't say he has too many soft touches. He has made kind of in the progression he's going has been a proper progression. He's running through everything, and I think he's primed for a championship run. But I think it's gonna be put on the back burner once we see what happens with Terrence versus whoever's the winner of this Ugas versus Spence fight. See what happens with that. But eventually one of these dudes has to fight Jerron Ennis. But it doesn't guarantee that Jerron's going to beat any of the champions that are currently out there. I think all three dudes are very, very tough fights for each other, and it has to happen. These dudes have to start solidifying themselves. People can't use the Floyd Mayweather excuses for why this and that happened. The one thing about Floyd is Floyd did his fucking thing. People cannot start to hate on Floyd because he became super wealthy. And I don't know why that becomes an issue for people when they see, especially for black people, to see other black people become super wealthy and then they find reason to throw shame upon them. There's nothing to throw shame on Floyd except for some of his, coonish ass comments, but that's outside of boxing when the focus is boxing. What Floyd did in boxing is something that fighters have to marvel over because all Floyd did was repeat what the old school did. And Floyd showed hard work, dedication was a mantra of his, which many people didn't show hard work and dedication in the era that followed behind him. They just saw money and dedication, half-ass dedication to getting the money. And many of these fighters have left billions upon billions of dollars out here. Not saying millions. Many of these fighters are leaving billions of fucking dollars out here. The only other person close to getting that shit is Canelo. And Canelo, people complain about Canelo, but Canelo is setting the path for himself. People like to keep bringing up the computer raw shit. He is behind that shit and moving forward, but doing his own thing, setting his lane while others sit and hold themselves back rather than setting their own path and becoming, stars in their own right to collect this money out here. Floyd. And just like Tank put in there, Floyd fought the Shane Moses, Canelo, Manny Pacquiao, the De La Hoyas, the Corraleses, the Castillos, none of them were half-ass opponents. These are seriously dedicated opponents. The thing with Floyd being dedicated to the sport as being as rich as he fucking was, not being sidetracked by the money during the height of his career, but to getting in that gym, training like a fucking poor fighter, trying to find his way up. And it paid dividends for Floyd when he got inside that ring. Everything's about fucking dedication and dedication. And then you go in there, you implement everything that you dedicated in the lab. And a lot of these fighters, what you see them dedicated in the lab is what you see performed in the ring. And usually it's half-assed. You see a lot of these fucking lower in weight fighters going to fights, they're gassed, having to fucking try to find second wins early in fights. That shows poor trainings. You see them outside of competition, they're ballooned up, looking like some of them come in there looking like cruiserweights and shit out of competition. That's bad. That shows that a lot of these dudes ain't following the mode of Floyd. They want to be like Floyd based on what they see as far as the luxuries afforded. But those luxury afforded by Floyd don't come through just sitting back, reading the newspaper to see what a stock then returned. That dude had to get in there every morning to go out and run long ass miles, to get up in that gym, to go in there, not to punch a clock, to work in it and sign people in, but to go in there and get punched in the face, return punches by other people, to implement strategies. Working in that boxing shit is hard, and it takes a lot to go through 50 fights and come out come out clean as far as your winning record. And a lot of these dudes don't even give a part of that effort. The one fighter I can say who I've seen give a great effort, and he ain't the most skilled, has been Sean fucking Porter. Sean Porter is probably the most dedicated dude that has come into the I gotta give that shit to fucking Terrence Crawford. And got to get that shit to Jerron Ennis from what we've seen from him at that welterweight. But there's a lot of other boxers, but the money hasn't. We got to see what the money does to him. I like the way that Devin Haney has maintained a humbleness to him. The money he's bringing in, Tank is starting to mature into that humbleness with the money he's bringing in. Seeing the Charlos don't maintain being humble, but they do maintain a dedication to the sport. Them guys are always in shape. Don't seem to be dealing with issues when in the ring when it comes to fatiguing factor. They work hard, they're dedicated, and they want to stay undefeated. But the thing's about to get super hard for them as they move up in competition. But you got to stay dedicated and outwork other people. That boxing shit is fucking hard. That's why I would refuse to label anyone a bum. I hate to see Devin Haney even call that guy a bum, but I understand he talking shit with someone who called him out. But it takes a lot of absolutely, DB, humility. Like it takes a lot to be in the grind of going and being a combat sport a participant. That shit is hard as fuck, and many people take that shit for granted. Even some of these fighters take that shit for granted. But it takes a lot when you factor in what it takes to sacrifice to go in and doing that shit. Even if you fighting at the damn Watch Ali level, you still getting up every fucking day to go train, to learn how to punch motherfuckers in the face. And on top of that, you're running miles, you're doing push-ups, doing sit-ups, all that shit.
Man, Mickey Bay said it earlier today, bro. To be a professional boxer, you training for damn near 5 other sports. You know what I'm saying? And when you, like you said, when you running those miles, when you lifting the weights, when you doing what you got to do to stay in shape and then wait. And that's one thing I give Gary Russell. I give him big credit on. I don't think Gary Russell I don't think weight training had anything to do with anything as far as the fight goes. Yeah, he came in overweight. He came in a half a pound overweight. That's the difference in a scale. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't hard for him to make that weight. But I also will say that it's a lot of other shit that he had going on that affected him in the ring. And so my thing is at the end of the day, when I look at fighters, when I'm watching individuals going out there putting their life on the line for the great sweet science, as we would call it, the sweet science. When I look at that, I have to give them credit. I give nothing but credit to them first off. But at the same time, if this is going to be your profession, I look at the Charlos. when and don't quote me on it because I get Jamel and Jamal. I get them mixed up every time. I know Jamal is the older and Jamel is the younger, I believe, but I still get them mixed up. I don't know how. But when I look at them and I'm sitting here like when they were calling out Canelo. First thing one of the first names they brought up was, oh, we don't drink no more. Bro, you drunk right now. You drunk right now, bro, and you talking about we don't drink no more. Come on, man. Let's just be 100. You didn't even have to bring that up. And I don't think that another thing that they were talking about was how Floyd, when he was in money, when he was Money Mayweather, when he was Pretty Boy, Floyd, yeah, he had the money. He went to the club, but Floyd wasn't drinking in the club. You know what I'm saying? Floyd, he was taking care of his body. And I don't think all fighters do that today. And then when they come into the ring and we see flaws in them, you know, they look at us like we wrong when we call it spades. Yeah, you didn't look good. Jamal, he didn't look good in his last fight. Jamel should have beat Castano, in my opinion. I actually thought he won the fight, to be honest.
Man, Castano's a tough affair. By looking at his history.
I'm not disagreeing, but I thought he won the first fight. I thought Jamel won the first fight. I didn't think it was a draw, but that's because it was a draw. I expect you to get in the ring, Jamel, and look even better than you did the time before. That's what I'm expecting from him. You know what I'm saying? I expect you should be able to make adjustments off of the last fight. Of course, Castano, I don't think he's gonna come in and fight you the exact same way, but I think you're more skilled, more talented than Castano is, and so you should end up winning the fight. I found it very interesting that Terrence Crawford came out and said that he wants the winner of Jamel and Castano. He wants the winner of that fight.
Fuck so, nah.
Hey,
I'll stay up out of there. But even with what you're saying, everything that Charlo's gonna make an adjustment, Castano's gonna do the same goddamn thing. These are both high caliber level fighters, and it's supposed to be tough. And these fighters have to know it's going to be tough, and the fans have to know it's going to be tough. Ain't no walking through, especially when you get a fighter on the other end who comes in there properly prepared. Now, Castano's amateur background speaks of who he is. His professional background speaks of who he is. And usually those people coming from that country he comes from, they're usually very, very tough group of people that come into the sport. But nothing's going to be easy for neither one of the Charlos. But as long as they're pulling out victories, regardless of how hard or what they are, draws, as long as they're giving their greatest effort, that's all that matters.
But I want it to be tough. I don't want them to have I don't want to see easy touches. I don't want to see. I want it to be tough, but at the same time, as I want it to be tough, and I ain't even gonna lie, I'm not a big I'm not a Charlo fan. Either Charlo. I'm not a fan of either one of them. I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
I like them motherfuckers, man. Except they be acting idiotic. I admit that. But I do also have to understand they are fighters. They have an ignorance to them. And I just factored that. But when it comes into what they do in that ring, I fucking love them dudes.
And that's
fighters through. And I think they have to maintain a little bit of that edge. Sometimes I think people knowing who they are, just stay away from them. Leave the camera out their fucking face.
Facts.
But, there's appreciation for who they are as fighters. Like the motherfuckers.
But that's my problem has nothing to do, and that's why I go back and I say I want to see them in the ring with the best. I want to see their progressions. I think that they have some very disrespectful tendencies. You know what I'm saying? They say some shit that I don't think you should, especially the fans.
They say it about each other too. That's how you know the motherfuckers crazy. They fighters, man. These motherfuckers are bred to be in these sports, man. Motherfuckers is crazy.
I ain't mad at it. I don't agree with it, but who am I to agree with anything you're doing as a fighter? I don't have to agree with you to enjoy watching you fight. I don't have to agree with it. You feel me? So that's why I always say I'm not a huge fan, but I love to watch them fight. I love their fights. And I root for them when they fight. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I just hope that the money, the outside influences, should I say, haven't gotten to haven't gotten to them, and that when they go into the fight, that they're gonna be prepared and they're gonna be sharp. And it seems like what it seemed like so far to me. Now, I thought that Jamal, I thought the younger, I'm gonna say the younger Charlo, 154. I thought he fought down to his competition, Castano, in the last fight. I thought he fought down to the competition. Same thing I thought with Jamel in his or Jamal, excuse me, in his last fight. I think he fought down to the competition. And so what I want to see is for the training and everything you got going to come in and for you to start to dominate your opponents. I think you have the skill level. One thing I love is they run their shit down the middle. It's a lot of individuals out here who boxing, who throwing looping shots. I like to see that shit ran down the middle. You run it down the middle, you got a better chance, in my opinion. And that's one thing that Charlo 1-2 is very nice. But outside of that Charlo 1-2, what do they have? You know what I'm saying? They don't have great, not, and they have decent lateral movement, but they don't have great lateral movement. I don't think they have great ring generalship. I think they have decent ring generalship, but I don't think it's great. And so, I'm looking for in their next two fights. I want to see y'all start to move forward and dominate y'all competition. And I hadn't seen that yet. But if you move up and you want to
from the Charlos
to dominate their competition, I'm saying in their last. I'm not saying previous fights. I'm saying they last fights. I thought that. Go ahead.
But the competition they face, that Derenchenko's been tough for every badass in the division. Derenchenko has been tough, so therefore he was tough against Charles. Salute my brother DB in this motherfucker. But they were tough. Derenchenko's been tough for every individual he has faced. Whether it's been, and arguably he defeated Triple G. He's been tough against who was it else, that motherfucker Danny Jacobs. Somebody else Derenchenko faced. He's been tough for every single person that's been in the ring with him. He ain't an easy touch, and it wasn't a walkthrough for Charlo. Same thing with Charlo fighting what's his name, Khabarov, and Charlo having to make that adjustment to find this dude at the last moment. He dealing with the first time seeing his brother lose a fight. That played emotion with him. He still battled through that shit. They battle tested dudes, and it's like you're gonna get in this competition where you ain't about to run through everybody. Even any of the greats you speak of, you have seen them in tough fights to where you expect them to run through this person. They're that dominant. You just get to some people that's just gonna live up to the task. When more people who observe certain fighters are gonna write them off. But it's like those fighters who have gave Charlo and them tough outings, those fighters were somebody. But ultimately, Charlo's found a way to stay victorious. And one Charlo's undefeated still. The brother just has one blemish on the record against a very tough, skilled fighter. What's the name? What's the name? Harrison. Harrison's a bad motherfucker. The only thing that plagues Harrison is cardio issues later in the fight. But outside of that, he's a bad motherfucker. But you never see the Charlos fold or fade. The same thing with the Charlo fighting the dude who beat J. Rock Williams. What was that dude name? Jason Rosario. He fought him. Rosario, big strong ass dude who was, to me, giving Charlo the fucking blues. But not once does Charlo give up. Does he doubt himself? He just digs deeper. His will and determination to get in there and not be bested by someone. I mean, that shit is almost second to none to any of the boxers out there. You got twins with that mentality. I got to give them their credit, man. I'm gonna take my camera off so I can iron these clothes for my kids and shit. But I'm right here.
You good, bro? You good? My question is this though, and I'm not disagreeing. I stand by that. They hell of a fighters. You know what I'm saying? They fantastic fighters, bro. My question is, do they fight down to their competition? In your opinion, do you think they fight down to their competition?
Hell no, because any of their competition, they was getting them the hell up out of there. Look what they did to everyone. Where the one Charlo had the chip on his shoulder, where motherfuckers calling them out and this and that. They were knocking people the fuck out. easily. And then you have where they just come up into these as they move up into stronger competition. It's just like you ain't knocking these folks out, but they have been getting late stoppages. Charlo getting Harrison out of there. Let me just name them by first names. Jamel getting Harrison out of there. Jamel getting Jason Rosario up out of there, and in electric fashion, doing shit that we ain't seen people do. Then he comes into Castano. He battled out with Castano. Castano's tough as fuck, and it's just what it is. The same thing with what's his name, Jamal. Jamal, the same thing, going through very tough competition. Them battling and finding their way through that shit. He faced tough competition against that last dude, but it's expected at this level. This ain't a Black American sport. This ain't just blaxing. That ain't what boxing is. It's boxing. It's international. You're gonna fight everybody around the fucking world, and everybody comes with a certain level of skills, a certain determination. A lot of people have a pride about them that ain't just about to let them quit, and the Charlos and them have to battle that. Fans from here have to see that and battle through that shit. I mean, this is what boxing is. It ain't just as Black fans. Some Black fans, we place a delusion to it. Just think that our Black fighters just gonna dominate everything. It ain't the way. Sugar Ray Robinson ain't always dominate every white fighter he was in there with. Muhammad Ali ain't dominate every white fighter he was in there with. Lennox ain't do it. I mean, you name a lot of them. A lot of them getting into tough competition with the Latinos and all that shit. You don't fight these international fighters. American fighters ain't always American fighters' toughest competition.
So my question is, so do you think that Castano is skilled than Charlo is?
Castano's very skilled.
He's more skilled.
Yeah, as a shorter fighter, Castano knows what he has to do. Castano's highly skilled and intelligent.
You think
he ain't gotta be all razzle dazzle and flashy. Everything's about hitting a target, getting to the target, blocking shit. That dude, look at his amateur record. That dude done been in there with some of the best names that is up there. Motherfucker can scrap.
Amateurs mean nothing to me in professional
everything, bro.
Bro, the amateur boxing is judged totally different than professional boxing is.
It's not about the judging. It's about the experience. You getting in there, you scrapping, you super active. You getting over hundreds and hundreds of fights. You get young fighters fighting grown people. They're fighting people from around the world. You're gonna get to see who your competition is, and you look at it. Everybody who has had success in boxing has had amateur experience on an international level. Like there's something to attribute from the amateurs. You recognize who your future stars are from the amateur system. Everybody who's a star is through the amateur system that even go into the Olympics.
All right, so this is the problem with this. This is why I have a problem with what you're saying. And I'm moving outside of the Charlos real quick, but just speaking strictly on why I don't put as much I don't put as much into amateur fighting as I do into professional fighting. Amateur fighting, yeah, you don't see too many knockouts in amateur fighting. What you see is hit and don't get hit. Okay, I understand that, and that's the sweet science. That's definitely the sweet science, is how to swim but not get wet. I understand that. What I'm saying is yeah, you can go in and connect and correct me if I'm wrong, but or not even, you don't even have to correct me because I know I'm not wrong in this, but in a short fight in the amateur career with headgear on and all that type of stuff, you may not be buzzed. I mean, you can throw punches and you can hit that type of thing, but an amateur career is not anything. It doesn't show what you're going to be in the pros. And so when I hear certain things like, I don't even, they were talking, I heard somebody today, I don't know who it was, but they were talking about, I don't even remember who they said now, to be honest. They said somebody beat Boots. Gary Russell Jr. or Gary Antonio and Antoine. No, Gary Antoine beat Boots in the amateurs. And I could care less about that. What I'm talking about is 12 rounds throwing them hands. And in those 12 rounds, that's totally different than what you going through in the amateurs. It's not the same. And I think that there are individuals built for amateurs. I look at a Lomachenko. People give Lomachenko credit for having a great amateur career. Bro, you was 25, 24, 25 fighting uh, uh 17, 18-year olds. I'm not giving you credit for that shit, bro. I'm not giving you credit for that. And so it's a different fight when you get into pros versus what's going on in the amateurs. And so your amateur background, in my opinion, this is only my opinion, so I don't want anybody to take that out of context. This is my opinion, nobody else's. But amateur fights have very little to do with what you can do in the professional ranks. It's a totally different fight in the professional ranks than it is in the amateur ranks. And yeah, you can have a great amateur career, but I'm not giving you it's not getting much credit from me because it's a totally different fight being in a professional fight versus even a 6 round fight, a 4 round fight. You know what I'm saying? It's totally different in the amateurs versus what it is pro. And for somebody like Lomachenko to have the amount of or to have the amateur record that he has, salute to him. Great amateur record. But at the same time, you come up, you get scrubbed in your second fight. I'm not gonna say scrubbed. You get beat in your second fight by a journeyman, Orlando Salida. Then you lose to what a lot of people would call a prospect in Teofimo Lopez. I can't give the same clout or the same weight to amateur star that I'm going to give to an individual who's been fighting professional fights.
But look, let's put it like this.
Go ahead.
What happens is the experience and development. You just can't have a fighter because you know how to fight. You off the streets and you decide I'm about to walk in the gym and just start a boxing career as a professional without the experience.
No, you don't get
Out there developing. Let me finish. And developing your skills. You look through any of the greatest of fighters. They have all worked through an amateur system. Who is the greatest fighter of all times? Who many people consider? Arguably Sugar Ray Robinson. You go right into his amateur program. I think he fought out of New York. There's all type of shit of people seeing this guy as he began to collect and going through many of those fights, many of those tournaments. And that's the factor. The tournaments giving you the experience of getting out there as a young fighter, the developmental phases, even with anybody in basketball and football, it starts with the developmental programs. As a young kid, you get better, you know what to work on, tool on before you reach into your real manhood side of shit. These dudes, as all your great fighters who have become many things in the sport of boxing, have went through amateur programs. Sugar Ray Robinson did it. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. Muhammad Ali did it. Mike Tyson did it. Lennox Lewis, Floyd Mayweather, Roy Jones. All of them have went through an amateur program. And then it translates into what happens in professional boxing. Now, some people continue to ascend. Some people fall off. But the amateur program is a much needed program. It's a program people gauge who they're going to go after. Now, I don't know if you remember on Dante's Boxing Nation. This is a clear and classic point. There was the one dude used to always come on there, Dwayne Beeman. Do you remember that? You remember Dwayne Beeman used to come on Dante's Boxing Nation?
I don't really follow Dante's Boxing Nation like that, so I don't remember it.
Okay, so it was a guy used to come on there. He had started boxing very late. He was just a dude in very, very great shape. I think he started as a football player. He gonna come into boxing. He was calling out all these other dudes, how he'd beat them and they this and that. And he get in there to fighting. I think he fought like Burchek. He wanted to fight Burchek. He went in there and fought him, and they schooled him. I think he even went in there to fight, but he put up great competition, very, very great contest against those dudes. But ultimately, they stopped him. Him being muscular and all that shit didn't mean anything. The thing that carried him through was their experience. Him not having a amateur background, lacking experience, and having to play catch up. The same thing with I think he fought Navarrete, was another guy. He went in there and beat on him. I'll just toyed with him, box him. It's just based on their experience and what they can get in there and do with them. Everything is about experience. Even those in street fights, you get in a fight with somebody. it may not only be that they're a better fighter than you. Some people may just fight more often than you. Your timing and shit is off, and you ain't used to getting hit and things like that. That amateur shit means a lot. They keep those kids active. They're fighting a lot, depending on what you do with your career, and it means a lot. And Beeman was a clear example of what happens not having an amateur career. Certain thing, even the same thing with Deontay Wilder coming into his situation. He had major success, but imagine Deontay Wilder with a long, flourishing amateur career. He'd be something more devastating than what he was. But based on not having that amateur background, he got as far as you probably won't see a person get that far without that much of a background experience. And just from having a punch ain't gonna carry. And I'm pretty sure Tyson Fury had an amateur background. But I mean, you can't discount the amateur program. That's why so many people look towards it, and it's why it's spoken of so much. All your great fighters come out the amateurs, all of them.
I'm not discounting the amateur background. What I'm saying is that just because you are a great amateur doesn't mean that you're going to be a great a pro. That's all I'm saying.
But most of your greats were great amateurs. You name them, they national fucking champions, golden gloves, silver gloves. They have made it through those ranks, and you look at any of them, they 4-time national champs. Like that amateur program gauges everything. You can even gauge it when you're looking at the basketball programs, the AAU system. You know who's gonna be a this and that. Back when I used to follow that basketball shit from the high school level and stuff, you seen when they were Shaquille O'Neal was a big name, Kobe Bryant. You see through that shit. Who else? Kevin Garnett, LeBron, all them people prospect, and they see what's coming up. They see what the future is based on your AAUs being like the amateurs, your high school being like the amateurs, and sometimes college you can gauge as being an amateur program before they transition over. Same thing with football. You look at the Pop Warner programs, all that shit, and you can see who's going to be what. You can prospect young kids. There's young kids who colleges give fucking certain letters to, are they fucking looking, they following these young kids at a very young age, these Pop Warner programs. The same thing with what Russell Westbrook was. Russell Westbrook was a fucking top talented fucking Pop Warner kid. People thought he was gonna be a football star. And motherfucker went into basketball out of nowhere, but he was athletic enough. But you get everything from these young youth programs. They everything. Same thing. That's why kids go to school. Your greatest fucking your greatest successes out here in the world are people who developed at a young age. That childhood shit. It's everything.
And I want to make sure I'm putting my statements out here correctly. I'm not disagreeing with the amateur program. I'm not disagreeing with it. What I'm saying is I look at somebody. I don't know who. Once again, listen to a lot of boxing channels, but somebody was talking about how Gary. One of the I don't want to get the name wrong. It's either, I think it's Antoine, but how he beat Boots twice in the amateurs. He may have beat Boots twice in the amateurs, but it's a totally different fight now in the pros. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is yeah, and I think the amateurs have it's definitely a litmus test. It definitely gives you an idea of where you stack up at. But look at somebody like Ryan Garcia. I believe Ryan Garcia.
He's a very good amateur.
Right, and I was just gonna say, I believe Ryan Garcia beat Devin Haney 2 or 3 times in the amateurs. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is the fighter that the fighters that they are now. And correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong when I say this, say you wrong. Tell me I'm wrong, and I don't have a problem with it. But I don't think anybody would say that. We look at Ryan Garcia and say, if Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney got in the ring today, I damn near better. I'm gonna bet a bag on Devin Haney. That's just me. I could be wrong about that, but what's your thoughts on that? And the reason I ask is because once again, yeah, Ryan Garcia has some wins, and I think Devin Haney has some wins against Ryan Garcia in the amateurs. But as pros, I think it's a different level. And I think things have changed, not necessarily changed, but I think work ethic. The work ethic is different, and we have to evaluate each individual via the person that they are and the work that they're putting into the sport, which would go into any sport. When you look at the Kobe Bryants of the world, one thing Kobe said, yeah, hell of a AAU star, hell of a player, you know what I'm saying, in the lower levels, but he was able to be successful because of the work he put in, and he listening to Jason Williams the other day. Jason Williams was saying, "Yeah, I got into the gym. This was before the motorcycle accident, but yeah, I go into the gym. I see Kobe in there. I work out for 2 or 3 hours. After I get done working out, Kobe's still working out. So I wait for him to wait for him to get done. And what does he come over and say? Well, I just want to prove to you that I'm gonna work harder than you. You know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, it goes into who's working the hardest, who's putting their best foot forward, and that's in any sport. LeBron James. LeBron puts in tremendous work. I don't even think I'm still a Jordan fan, and y'all don't judge me on that. I'm biased. I'm an '88 baby, so I grew up on Jordan. That's my dude. You know what I'm saying? So that's who I'm riding with as the GOAT. But at the same time, LeBron put the work in, and I still can love and support everything he got going on. You feel me? I'm not against him, but I think I think Jordan is the GOAT. So just go ahead off of that. My bad, bro. And I
You put a
apologize.
lot in there. But, but the thing, even with Kobe, if Kobe didn't go through those youth programs, we may not have got the Kobe that we got today. Kobe was determined of everything in his experience. Them young youth programs are so vital to what you get up out of these great players. A lot of shit just don't start because they just picked up the sport late and this and that. Many of your greatest players have started doing this shit at young youth ages. Many of them played in travel leagues. Many of them find that this is my fucking dream, and therefore they got to put the determination in that shit. Kobe was a different beast, but it all comes from what Kobe experienced on those international levels as a young dude. It didn't start when he got in high school. Kobe was doing this shit well before that, along with Kobe having experience of a father who was a former NBA player. Everything led into the life of Kobe. Same thing with Jordan. Jordan had played in youth leagues. I'm pretty sure he played in travel league and being denied being competitive, denied playing on a varsity team. It was something that didn't happen. That pushed his drive. It didn't happen just in the NBA. And from there, they gain these experiences of if my dream is to be the best, I must get in this fucking gym, shoot my shots, work on my step, lift my weights, get my hops up. There's another guy coming down the line. You best believe these players who are in the top spot. That's why you see them at high school games. They want to scout to see what's the next competition looking like, what these young kids about. So everything comes up under you. That's the thing. And these programs like that, they're super vital. Plus, these you got to teach the kids the game. You just can't take no colleges don't take just anyone because they play basketball and develop them. Colleges colleges ain't developing shit. These kids have already been developed before they get to those stages, and they usually get developed from young youth leagues. Top tier high schools sometimes ain't developing shit. They taking them from the top youth leagues and then bringing them on, and then going from there, just adding in plays. But usually they're going to take the players that have been developed from childhood, know how, the concept of basketball, and all the coaches going in. Yeah, they're going to be physically strong and all that, but mostly it's adding in additional plays. They get to, by the time they reach the NBA and shit, the NBA ain't teaching them shit. They bring these half-ass, sorry-ass fucking coaches, but it's all on the player to develop themselves and improve themselves. NBA coach ain't shit. That's the thing that bugs me. Why there ain't more fucking black coaches in the league? Because white ones ain't doing shit to develop the player. They just put in playing systems and say, be here, stand over here, pass the ball there. But by the time those kids get to the league, they're the top tier of fucking the 5% of the best basketball players out there. But go ahead.
No, I can't disagree with that. I can't disagree at all. And at the same time, the amateurs. Going back to it, the amateurs are very important. It's just, man, it the amateurs are important to a certain point. That's my whole point. It's important to a certain point, but it has to become a point where you're able to learn to adjust and to adapt, and the pro at the pro level. And so at the end of the
Look,
day,
but let me say this. Why you saying that? You know how vital the amateur program is? What started to happen when the amateur programs went away? American boxing started to suffer. And you start having the Europeans start to take over the sport of boxing. People down in Mexico taking over the sport of boxing. But here in America, the kids coming out of here were lacking. The coaching wasn't there. The funding in the program wasn't there. Gyms begin to fall apart. That just shows you how vital the amateur programs. All of your greatest of great boxers were fortunate enough to come through a healthy amateur program. These young kids struggle to get the proper training and schooling. They struggle to get to goddamn tournaments because the amateur system has fallen apart. And then you get coaches out here who are looking for people coming out of, maybe they play football, but they physically fit, they're big and this and that. And some promoter or manager looking for them, man, how about you try this boxing shit out? And they coming in here at 24 and shit, trying to go into boxing. But that shows you when the amateur program fails, it'll show you what you get down the line. And that's where you get a huge difference in the type of boxers you have today versus yesterday.
no, I
Pro
agree.
amateur program.
I agree with that, and it's interesting you say that. I was listening to an interview the other day. They were talking about I don't know if you know Johnny Rice, and Johnny Rice
Yeah,
was
yeah.
talking. Yeah, he more or less said the same thing. He wasn't looking to be a boxer, but they more or less said, "Damn, if we recruiting right now, we trying to bring the heavyweights back to the U.S." You know what I'm saying? And so they brought him in, and we'll see what happened with him. I think he got a chance. He a little older, those type of things, but he had the athletic ability and all that kind of stuff. So I agree that the amateurs are very necessary. I'm not disagreeing with that. My thing is individuals start to get so much credit from that amateur background, especially those if you want credit from the amateur backgrounds. You get credit when you 18. You get credit at 18 for being an amateur boxer. But after that, then bro, you should be going and looking forward to moving to the professional ranks and becoming the best boxer you can as far as making those fights happen and in those rounds. And so I'm not disagreeing, and I think that the amateur or the amateur ranks are very important. The thing is so much more that goes into boxing after that, and even more than what really goes into the skill part of it. My thing that I really like to focus on is, and like I always said, the boxing politicians is learning how to handle the business aspect of boxing. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, so I appreciate you following me, Reggie, with what I'm talking about, bro. But you know what I'm saying? I just think that
I'm a boxing fan, so this boxing talk my shit.
right.
But I'm gonna run downstairs. I'm listening, dog. I got on my second device. I'll be right back.
No, I'm actually about to jump off, bro. It's 3:42 where I'm at, so I gotta catch a couple a couple Z's so I can catch you in the morning, bro.
Oh, okay, I got you. I got you. Hey, Cal, man, you probably got to end the show. DJ didn't hop on. Cal, we need you. Hold on, I'm
Cap
gonna run downstairs real quick.
that.
What's up? What's up? Man, it look like that's it, folks, man. So I ain't gonna be on here too long. So I think we just talked about everything. Amateur boxing, the Gary Russell thing, the Charlos. We didn't touch on everything, but like I say, I keep shit funky when it comes to boxing. Anything in life, I ain't with all that agenda-based bullshit, following the trends of other people. I'm about keeping shit funky, and I think that's the way life should be. Whether I agree with people or not, we're gonna keep it funky, regardless of what people feel. It's just all about keeping shit 100% consistent. But that's all I got, folks. I'm gonna finish ironing these clothes off for my kids. So it's all about these young babies. So I'm gonna finish ironing their shit and finishing my damn ribs. But
Hey, bro, salute to you, man. I'm out for the night. I appreciate you, Kyle, bro. I appreciate you. I know you probably done ran off on us. You know, we ain't mad at that. But goddamn, Reg, hey, Reg, I tune in again and look for me on any other panels that we on, bro. Salute to you,
yes,
bro. I
yes,
appreciate the
indeed.
conversation.
Yes, indeed, bro. Great boxing talk. I enjoyed the fuck out of that conversation, man. But
Facts.
that's what it is, man.
Salute, bro, and salute to the chat. Salute to everybody out here who listening. I don't even know how many people we got listening. I don't even know how to. That's a whole nother story. But I'm out for the night. I got a early morning, so appreciate you, bro.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Well, shit, I'm gonna finish doing what I got going on, so I can get ready for the next day too. But I'll see you guys on the next one, man. Peace, peace.
Bet, bro.
Somebody call Cal, tell his ass to end the show.
This shit gonna be around for the next 3 hours.
All right, I'm out of here. Peace, peace.
Bet.